What's going on, guys? Motherfucking New Year. Yeah, it's 2020. I'm not even Barbara Walters. You dig? Well, today starts the fun. Today starts my plans. So this is what I'm gonna do. Going forward, I'm gonna cut back on eating every freaking day because you don't need to. That whole 3 hots in a cot, guys, that's something that when the British or the French or whoever came and colonized this area, that's something they invented to show what they called the savages, what we call the local residents of this country before we moved in and took over, that they were more sophisticated because they could have 3 meals a day, where the local residents, the aboriginals or the natives or whatever you want to call them, the ones who were here before us, would basically do what the Romans did, where they would just, or not the Romans, but our ancestors did from a long time ago. They would just eat when the hunt was good, and when the hunt was bad, they would go long periods of time without food. And okay, you know, a lot of people are going to argue, but Adam, you know, those people also died young. They didn't last. They had a low life expectancy. Well, that's because of modern medicine. It wasn't that modern back then. Or medicine, for that matter. You know, they had some herbs and stuff that they practiced for healing, but they didn't have the stuff we have now. The technologies and all that. So, like, if you think about what they used it for versus what we can use it for, they used it for survival. There was never any growth, because they basically use the fasting as a way to survive. When you're fasting, a lot of cool things happen inside your body. Alright, I've talked about this multiple times in the past. One of the things that happens, check it out guys, I got more weight on the bar. Yeah, but one of the things that happens is your body goes into a state where it has to burn fat for survival. So you're in a heavy state of ketosis because now it's running on the reserves. Basically all the junk you've been eating that's been accumulating in your gut and your body, making you look pillowy and fluffy, that's fuel. That is fuel. You don't need to eat. The only reason why you get hunger pains and stuff like that is because your body would prefer to run on carbohydrates. When the carbohydrates are depleted, your body goes crap, go eat more food. We don't want to run on fat, but we will if we have to. But we like to save the reserves for an actual situation. And I farted. So, my battle plan is to run on the reserves, to burn them down, especially after this past month of getting off track. Because let me tell you, gaining an extra 10 pounds over the holiday season, man, that sucks. Like last night was a wake-up call. I went over to my friend's house and we had all sorts of snackies. We had like sausages wrapped in pastry or whatever, a pig in a blanket I think they call it. We had mini pizzas, we had taquitos, we had freaking spring rolls, ice creams, cookies, pecan pie, all sorts of just complete garbage food. Just straight up carbohydrates and calories. Oh my. So, you know, that was it. Like, I wanted one last bang before I do what I'm about to do. And now I'm gonna do it. Because we're in it to win it. So, like I was saying, with our ancestors, a lot of people think if you don't eat, your body's just gonna lose muscle. So your body's gonna catabolize itself to stay alive. Here's the thing. When you're in a fasted state, your body will go into a growth hormone spurt. Your body will basically jack growth hormone, which will cause your body to no longer build new muscle, but to maintain the current muscle that is there. Because it doesn't want to break it down, because it knows that you need strength in order to hunt animals to feed yourself. So, one thing that our ancestors couldn't do is control feeding days. They couldn't say, okay, well, I'm just going to fast for 24 hours and then magically a saber-toothed tiger is going to show up and I'm going to beat the living crap out of it and put it on a fire spit and we're going to eat like kings, boys. No, you couldn't do that. They just couldn't do that. That wasn't in the cards. Them, it was, all right, we just had a feast. It could be 2 weeks before we find another woolly mammoth. It could be 2 weeks before we find another saber-toothed tiger. It could be 2 weeks before we even find salmon in the river. So they would go out and forage for whatever, try and get as much as possible. But when it was feeding day, they would just ingest as many calories as possible, and it would be mainly fats and proteins. Not really many carbohydrates, because they weren't baking bread, they weren't making freaking shredded wheat, they weren't making potato chips. They were literally killing animals and eating them, living off berries, living off wild nuts, living off of any vegetation that wouldn't kill them, trying to survive, literally. We have it, however, we have it better because food, I don't want to say food is abundant, but food is more easily obtainable through commerce, right? You just go to the friggin' store, you want a steak, you buy a steak, you come home, cook your steak, you drive it in your face. It's so readily available. You know, you could drive your car through a drive-thru and get some cheeseburgers if you wanted to. It is what it is. So here's the thing. If you're following any sort of fitness people on YouTube, you probably heard the term fasted cardio, fasted workouts, all this stuff thrown around. The reason why this is important is pretty crazy. See, when you're fasted, you're already burning fat for fuel. Just me sitting here right now, I'm burning calories, doing nothing. Your body's always burning calories because it has to burn fuel in order to keep running. Some people think the only time you burn calories is when you're doing any sort of exertion, like exercise, aerobic or anabolic exercises, where you're in an aerobic or anabolic state. Well, no, that's not true. You're always burning calories. The average person weighing the average weight will burn about 2,200 to 2,600 calories being sedentary, doing nothing. That's with a solid 8 hours of sleep and 16 hours of awake. You'll burn about 22 to 2,600 calories a day. So in order to maintain your body weight, you need to consume 2,200 to 2,600 calories a day. Then that's your maintenance calories. Now they say not every calorie is the same, and that is true. Obviously, if you're eating a lot of carbohydrates and fats and not so much protein, you're going to start packing on more storage because your body's going to start storing the fat, burn the carbs, and then when it runs out of carbs, it's going to burn whatever fat it can to maintain you for the rest of the day. Now here's the thing. When you're fasting, your growth hormones go through the roof, right? So they say it's upwards of 1,300 to 2,000% increase in growth hormones to maintain the muscle. Think of this. Your growth hormone, basically IGH, which it's a substance that people in like those big muscular veiny as frig bodybuilders will inject into their body. It's a form of steroid that can be synthesized, but your body can create it too. Think of your body being pumped full of this stuff because you're not eating and it's trying to maintain the muscles. You go do a heavy set of bench press, maybe some squats, maybe some deadlifts, maybe you're just curling a bar to get bigger arms, and then right after you're done, you ingest a bunch of food, engaging mTOR. What's going to happen is the growth hormones that are already boosting to maintain your muscles are now going to go and grab that protein you're taking in and send it to the muscles to rebuild and make them bigger. Literally, if you want to say it, you're kind of doing steroids legally without all these adverse side effects. Because when you're fasting, your body's repairing itself. It's consuming old, dead, and mutated cells and using the materials off of those cells to build new cells. So that's why I say we got it made right now. We don't need to be injecting steroids. We don't need to be doing illicit drugs for growth. We can just use what Mother Nature gave us, and that's the wisdom of our ancestors, and they probably don't think it's wisdom. For them, like I said, it was survival. And we can get the size that we want, the strength that we're looking for. And the best part about it is it's going to cost you less than the groceries. So you can stretch that dollar bill a little further. So, pretty sweet. That's why my battle plan is to do 48s and 72s, maybe even drop a 96 in there. I don't know. We'll see. Today is day one. Today is officially January 1st, 2020, and I am not Barbara Walters. Today is also the day where I'm not going to eat. I'm fasting. Tomorrow I'm probably going to fast too. It's Thursday. Why not? The first day is always the pain in the arse, but after a while, it'll just become natural. Also on these days, when I'm fasting, if I do a workout, it's going to be light weights, just to move them, just to basically burn some calories. I might go downstairs, set up the Bowflex for rowing, do some high intense interval training with the watch, just to basically roast some more calories. Nothing insane, nothing crazy. Go for a walk, even though winter sucks because it's cold out, it's snowing. Going for a walk isn't exactly the most pleasant thing to do. I do got to go out and get a Pokestop though, frig's sakes. This winter's really putting a hamper in the friggin' Pokemans. Let me tell you a little something about that. But whatevs. Anyway, that's going to be my battle plan for getting big. Is I'm going to use what the wisdom of our ancestors, the survival instinct that they had, to get to the size I want. And I got to lose some weight. Like, holy crap, guys! I literally gained 10 pounds over the holidays by just not caring and enjoying life. And last night was a wake-up call, because literally after all the food that we ate, I was so sick getting home. I was in the driveway, I stepped out of my truck, my stomach got queasy, and I barfed. I barfed all over my driveway. It was disgusting. I haven't thrown up since like a long freaking time ago. Even when I used to drink heavily, wake up with a mega hangover, I never upchucked. But last night I was actually so sick to the point where my body was like, yeah, we got to clear room, and there's only one way we can do this. Send it in the way it came, send it out the way it came in. Just send it. And I sent it. So anyway, today I got to do some stuff. I got to get out there and do something with that driveway, because we got a lot of snow over the past 2 days. Not a lot, but enough. I was thinking about firing up the snowblower, just to make sure it works. Because remember, we did park it out on the cement slab all summer, and it wasn't exposed to the elements because it was tarped, but it was out there. So I'm thinking I might fire that up. It's got fresh oil in it, so we're good there. But yeah, I'm going to fire that up. We're going to blast the driveway, clear that all out. Probably chill out for the rest of the day and just relax and enjoy what it is. And then tomorrow it's back to work. Friday, half day friggin' Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday's a day off. And then next week, everything goes crazy. Everything goes crazy. Because everybody's coming back from holidays, and it's going to be an interesting little stint. But let's pitter patter and have at her. Get on with this friggin' day. Yay, yay! Oh, and Happy New Year's. Yay, doing a little filming with the GoPro. Sorry if the quality sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, gonna rock a piss, saddle up, go outside, and decide whether we're gonna snow blow or shovel. Not sure. Hashtag not sure. You know what? There's not a lot of snow out here. It's pretty fluffy. I think I'm just gonna grab the shovel, move it around. Pretty much don't even need to do this. I'm just doing it for the extra calorie burn. Frig it. So, oh, also, Dad got me a new snow shovel. It's a Yardworks, plastic. Kind of like my metal one, but plastic. So, I figure, you know what? Let's give it a rip. Good enough. Good enough. Oh man. We got a good base. I can snow blow now, so next time I'll probably take the blower out and blast it. Oh man, I'm tired, my back hurts. Let's go inside. Alright, we're done. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but 37 minutes in, 377 calories out. I need to go have a drink of water. Alright guys, I'm wearing my hoodie because I'm going to go play some Pokemon. And then when I come back, I want to talk to you about the title of this video, The Year of the Savage, because you probably really have a lot of questions about it. And I'm going to answer them. Yes, I will. Alrighty guys, came back from playing Pokemons. I'm going to get ready because I'm going to have a shower. Tomorrow is an early day. I got to be in for 8:30. And I promised you guys that I would tell you why this video is called 2020, The Year of the Savage. Like I explained earlier in the video, when the explorers landed here back in the day, they met up with the native tribes and saw the way they lived and pretty much said that they were a bunch of savages, eating once, twice a week, but eating big, living off the land, and they wanted to show them this is how we do it. This is how the sophisticated bunch do it. Eating 3 hots a day, sophisticated meals, breads and all that. And That's the reason why I'm calling it the Year of the Savage, because that's what I'm going to be doing. Living a savage-like lifestyle. Sure, I'm going to be going to the grocery store and picking up my meals. I won't go out there and forage and stuff, because I'm not going to go full-blown savage. I'm just going to go partial. I'm going to do the intermittent fasting, or not the intermittent fasting, but the fasting with a meal every couple days. Like my buddy said, fast long, eat large. That's what I'm going to do. Anywhere from 48 to 72 hour fasts, engage autophagy, fix a lot of my skin issues I have down below, mainly in this region right here. Doesn't seem to want to go away. So I'm going to go ahead and solve that problem through fasting, through autophagy. And when it comes to the refeed days, I'm going to eat big. I'm going to eat a lot of protein, a lot of fat. I'm going to keep the carbs low. I'm going to basically, for vegetables, it's going to be like broccolis and cauliflowers and asparagus and Brussels sprouts. I'm not going to go full-blown carno because I already solved my gut problems. I'm going to be taking in some crustaceous vegetables, I think they call them. But the broccolis, the caulis, the Brussels sprouts, cabbage, all that fun stuff, that'll be included in the big refeed, and that's going to be the battle plan. And on days that I don't feed, if I do a workout, it's going to be at 50% weight with more volume. Probably going to do high intense interval training rows, maybe some high intense interval training pull downs, maybe even some press. We'll load less weight on the bar and then do press in intervals. 40 seconds on, 20 second rest, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds rest. We can even do that on the Bowflex. Just enough to stimulate the muscle. Because if you think about it, I know savage is such a wrong term, but the way they did it was they would have to work out, in a sense. They would have to work to get their food, to hunt. They weren't just sitting sedentary in front of a computer watching YouTube videos or playing video games or watching television. They were out there doing stuff on days when they weren't eating because stuff still had to get done even though food wasn't available. They had to do things to find that food. So to simulate that, I'm still going to work out on off days. I'm just not going to go full out because basically instead of going for weight, I'm going to go for volume. So instead of doing, like for instance my squats here, instead of doing 215 pound squats at 10 reps, I might drop her back down to I don't know, we'll probably knock the 30 and the 50 off, go to 115 pound squats and bang out 25 or 20 reps. Enough to stimulate the leg muscles, but not enough to really friggin' destroy myself. Just enough to remind the muscles that they got to do things. And then come the refeed days, we go all in like Flynn and then completely destroy ourselves, and then we feast like kings to promote regrowth. And because the growth hormone's going to be high, it's going to cause some major growth effects. At least that's what the studies show. And we're going to put those to the test. So, 2020, boys, Year of the Savage. It's pitter patter and have at her and get it did. As for this summer, man, I can't wait for summer. We had Christmas, the snow can frig off whenever it wants. With the way the weather's acting right now, it seriously reminds me of winter 2010, where we didn't get much snow at Christmas time. It was pretty blah. January hit, it got a little cold, but nothing to write home about. February, meh. March, by my birthday, March 15th, there was no snow. It was clear. It was beautiful. I remember I went down to visit Logie, crashed at his place, and I drove down wearing my winter jacket, and by the time I got to Barrie, Ontario, I had to take my jacket off because it was like 13 Celsius there. When I got to Logie's, it was 18 degrees Celsius in London, and I was like, holy crap, you guys already got your summer. This is awesome. And then when I came back, all of our snow melted. So that was even awesomer. So that's the battle plan that I'm going to roll with, is basically, we're going to go with this until I hit my desired weight, and then we're going to do alternate day fasting, 1 day on, 1 day off, and then if the weight drops any more, because I'm going to aim for about $190 and see what happens. So like I said, tomorrow I got to be at work early. They're expecting it to be busy because it's the day after New Year's and a lot of people are coming back from vacation. I honestly don't think it's going to be busy. I think it's going to be just like it was on New Year's Eve and Monday. But, you know, like, honestly, if you were taking Christmas vacation, wouldn't you take the Thursday, Friday off after New Year's as well and just roll it into the weekend and then come back on the 6th? That's what I have a feeling a lot of people are doing. They're not going to show up tomorrow, and it's going to be a pretty slow day. Like, it'll be somewhat busy because we still have other agencies that can't close their operations like us, but it's not going to be super taxing, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, Friday, half day friggin' Friday. I got to go pay for my parking on Friday, so that's a thing. But I'm going to keep you guys updated on this. I know some of you might be interested. I noticed a lot of comments actually recently about people talking about things they're doing, and I'm really happy to hear it. Like, 2CV bloke said that he's going to start riding his bike more, try and get himself back into shape, and that's great, man. That's friggin' awesome. Yeah, get after that. Get after that. Because I'm telling you, anybody who's been watching my videos for a while remembers the old Adam. I was a depressing piece of shit. I'm not even afraid to say it. I was a depressing piece of crap. I was always, woe's me, and I'm stupid and stuff. And then when I started this journey to lose the weight and build mass and get stronger and faster and all that, my mentality, my mindset completely changed. Everything upstairs changed. I'm not as depressed, or even, I'm not depressed anymore. Not as, I'm just not depressed anymore. You know? When I come across a problem, before I come across a problem and I wouldn't know what to do, and I'd panic. Now I just find a solution. I fix it. It's a mindset. Get yourself in a good mindset. When you're overweight and you're eating garbage foods, your body will basically become so full of toxins that you're going to be in a depressed state. This is the reason why there's so many antidepressants on the market. It's because the nutrition that we consume is basically killing us, mentally and physically. So if you alter your way of life and go for a cleaner way of life, life will be good. So that's why, like, my new thing is no more processed foods. Like, I haven't had processed foods except for last night. Last night was bad. Had a lot of processed foods and I paid the price. I don't know if I told you guys this yet, but like, literally, I was at my friend's house and she looked at me and she said, you should probably go home. Like, you're looking pretty rough. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I felt sick. My stomach was upset. I was really grossed out and felt off, just completely awful. She's like, you look gray. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll go home. I got home from her place, pulled the truck in the driveway, opened the door, got out of the truck, and I kid you not, I bent over and puked. I haven't thrown up in forever. I puked all over my driveway last night. And it was pretty funny because one of the neighbors there, you probably saw them on the GoPro video. They came out again today. But when I threw up, she's like, oh, somebody partied too hard tonight. And I'm like, yeah, and I didn't even have any liquor. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I don't drink. Like, that's why I was driving. I don't drink. She's like, oh, maybe you got a touch of the flu. And I'm like, no, I don't think it's the flu. I'm pretty sure it was all the processed foods. And that's what, if you don't eat that stuff in forever, and then you do, your body's going to react either fine or you're just going to have a hell of a time. And I had a hell of a time. So, yeah, that's why from now on, any foods I consumed, I'll be preparing. No more McDonald's, and I was doing that too. I was going to McDonald's some days and just getting a Big Mac, or going to A&W and getting teen burgers or whatever. Just eating garbage. And that's how I basically gained an extra 10 pounds. I went from 216 to 226 because I was eating like crap. Would have been a lot worse if I wasn't working out and burning the freaking calories, but luckily I'm still active, so that's good. That's needed. But I've been hearing a lot of people saying they're going to quit drinking, or they did quit drinking, and they're noticing right away the weight loss. Like, quit drinking like 2 months ago and they're already down like 5-10 pounds. That's fantastic. That's great. That's life changing. And the thing is a lot of people I talk to, like, it's funny, you tell them you don't drink and they think you're possessed by the devil, but you tell them you didn't have a glass of water today and they're okay with that. It's like, so you're upset that I'm not ingesting poison, but when it comes to drinking what your body needs, you don't care. This is the world we live in, people. But like I said on my goals video, one of the goals is quitting the vape. That's just leaking money. If you think about it, like the whole industry is based around dollars. Let's try and get money away. Like, I'm not knocking it for a quit smoking thing, because it worked for me. It got me off the cigarettes. But now I need to get off the vape, which is a lot easier than quitting cigarettes. Big time. Because I can go a long time without having a friggin' vape. Oh, hey camera. There I am. But I can go a long time without actually touching my electronic cigarette. Where with cigarettes, after 4 hours I was getting the shakes. Like, I really needed to hammer a dart. And it's not like that with the vape. The vape is a completely different ball game. Like I mentioned it before, when I used to mow the lawn, I would mow half of the backyard, have a cigarette, then finish the backyard, have a cigarette, mow the front yard, have a cigarette, bust out the weed whacker, do my weed whacking, have a cigarette, and then while I'm putting everything away, I'd have a cigarette. So it'd be like I was planning my chores around when I was going to smoke cigarettes, and I was always looking forward to the next cigarette break. But that is not good. And even making your own e-juice, yeah, it can be cost effective. If you think about it, you pay $120 for the supplies, your juice, like your base, your flavors, and your nicotine. Some bottles here and there, unless you're just reusing old bottles that you have laying around. $120 to $150. And that's about a 6 to 9 month supply, depending on how heavy you're on the stuff. That's pretty good. Like, I bought that jug of vegetable glycerin back on Labor Day. No, before that, Canada Day. So back in June, and I still have about a quarter of a jug left. So it's lasted me longer than 6 months. The flavors I have were purchased around the same time, and I still got a lot of them left. Now keep in mind, I have been buying e-juice from stores, and that's where it gets expensive. Like, I don't know about in the US, but around here, you're looking at about $25 for 60 mil. 60 mil is a 1 week supply, depending on the electronic cigarette you're using. If you're using one of those little ones, like these new ones that I got, which I don't know where the hell I put them, they're in this coat. If you're using one of these little jobbies, they're not too bad. They won't burn through juice as bad as the drippers or the other bigger ones. But the bigger, like if you have a cloud maker, like one of those where you exhale and it's like a friggin' chimney on a factory going off, then yeah, you're gonna burn through material pretty damn quick. So you're gonna go through a lot more stuff when you're making your own, but it's still a lot cheaper in the long run, because if you were to walk into a vape shop and spend $120 on juice, you're probably gonna get about a half a liter, 500 mils. Where if you make your own, you're gonna get about 4 to 8 liters worth of juice. So it all depends there. But even then, it's still expensive. It's still stupid. It's money being pissed away for what? So you quit doing it. Now when your device is in, you got to buy your coils. You got to buy, if you're building your own, you got to buy your coil material. You got to buy your cotton. Sometimes things break. Sometimes batteries break. You got to buy chargers. Got to buy batteries. Got to buy this. Got to buy that. Blah, 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 blah. You're better off just to stop doing it, get off the damn thing, and have that money saved away for something better. So that's the battle plan. By the end of 2020, I want to no longer be on the darts. The e-darts. Be done with that. It's going to be an interesting year. Don't know what to expect. No idea what the hell I'm going to film. Like, I'm just going to make videos as I go and go from there. So, anyway, people, on that note, I'm going to shut her down here. I'm going to go have a shower, get this edited up, put it up for tomorrow, which will be the 2nd. Something you guys could check out. New video for the new year. Let me know what you think of the Year of the Savage. Let's go. Let's get after it. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, people, peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.